Support Black-owned journalism now more than ever. Black-owned media faces threats and needs our support. Help keep Black voices alive by donating today. Support Black voices today.
Welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known. It's the Super Bowl edition, right? There's a lot going on, um, a lot to talk about, but everybody this morning, of course, is talking about the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl halftimes. We know that Kid Rock hosted one halftime performance. Someone said an estimated 5 million people watched, but of course, 144 million folks watched as Bad Bunny headlined the Super Bowl. Um, it's it's been an interesting stretch where the game takes second to the actual to the halftime show, and that's what happened here. And in fact, the griot had some really interesting stuff about um, what you might have missed during the Bad Bunny's halftime show, and a couple of really interesting things with that. One, someone actually there was a marriage ceremony, and someone actually got married during the halftime show. So that's I thought it was very interesting, and that is one way to make a mark on the halftime show for sure. But other things, as the griot puts it, the show was no doubt a visual spectacle, as colorful and lively as Puerto Rico itself, is what the griot how the griot put it. And apparently, Bad Bunny declared his real name, Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. And it was filled with surprises. Cardi B, Lady Gaga. Um, it mentioned that as Bad Bunny passed through the big stalks where workers toil over the crop, every corner he turned revealed a different aspect of Puerto Rican culture. Um, the wedding, salsa music, of course, as we said, Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba. They were just some of the celebrities that were seen dancing on the porch while uh, Bad Bunny went through some of his most danceable hits. Then, of course, Lady Gaga shocked everybody when she appeared and sang a salsa rendition of her single Die with a Smile. Of course, Ricky Martin popped up. Where's Ricky Martin been? He popped up. It's probably the best sight, without question, of the night. We can leave it right there for a moment. We can leave it right there for a moment. I mean, he also, on a serious note, called attention to the power outages in Puerto Rico, as you see there, which is really shows you, you talking about being woke, how woke, that's the real definition of woke. And then, of course, with the president watching, because yes, the president was watching, he shouted out Americas, including the United States, but not just the United States. And you know who else was happy about the Super Bowl performance? The commissioner himself. How do we know that? How do we know that? Well, see for yourself.
Can we get a photo? Let's get a photo right here, gentlemen. Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. Can we get a photo? Let's get a photo.
There you go. Awesome, awesome. You can see he was exhausted from his performance, but very happy. Um, Orange G says, "Happy Monday," and all I can say, Coco singing the national anthem was Whitney-like. She did that, and she was stunning, indeed, indeed. Um, they apparently hit on all corners last night. They hit on all corners, and they didn't miss. And that's what you want in a halftime performance. They did not miss. And as for the game itself, well, it certainly played second fiddle to the halftime show for sure. It certainly was not. It was a defensive struggle, wasn't it? At least New England found it to be a struggle because Seattle really, really shut them down. Let's take a look.
You're right, Chris. For all that doubted, all that wondered, all who gave up on him, he's going to be a Super Bowl champion. Final 20 seconds. May loading up, taking a shot downfield into coverage. It's incomplete. Intended for Payshawn Booty with 12 seconds remaining.
There's your newest superstar in the coaching ranks right there. Everybody seems to want one of those young coaches that can last many, many years as your head coach. Guess what, Seattle? You found one.
And there he is, the 36-year-olds. McVay and Tomlin win the Super Bowl. And he'll become the third youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl. In the hands, Trevion Henderson trying to get to the sideline. Keeps going to the 29. And that will do it. Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL.
And there you have it. The Seahawks. What they should have done 10 years ago. Who made that play call? Somebody got paid. I'm just telling you, somebody got paid. Yeah, so sad news, folks, from the Wendy Williams camp this morning. Wendy Williams' dad, 94 years old, has died. Thomas Williams Sr. Passed away as Wendy continues her fight. And there is Wendy, Shirley, and Thomas right there. There's no cause of death have been given at the moment, but we learned that Wendy Williams' dad passed away at the age of 94. And also this morning, Ben Crump is he's back in the news. He is, of course, the most newsmaker, the biggest newsmaker so far, black newsmaker of the 20th century. and 21st century. Look at wow, 20th century. Over the weekend, I had some old 20th century movies that we was able to share um, because of the copyright situation, which allows you to um, to share. And so yesterday we played a classic from 1928, but um, but Ben Crump, 21st century, 20, 20th century, boy oh boy, he dropped a new book, and it's it seems to be an interesting read. Attorney Crump texted me, and he appeared also, and I was trying to find it for you guys, but he appeared on the Tamron Hall show, and it was a really, really good appearance. And I'll have that for you momentarily. But um, his new book, as I pull up the title, is very Ben Crump like. And once I find it, once I find it, but in talking with Ben Crump, he was saying that he was inspired by some of the greats like John Grissom, Perry Mason. He mentioned, the TV lawyer Perry Mason. He said he was inspired. He's on a plane. He's always on planes. He says, and why not? He thought about it. He says talking to the jury oftentimes is uh, like that. Here we go. Let me bring that to you now.
And accountability. The world got to know his name when he represented the family of Trayvon Martin when others would not hear their story. Since then, he's become one of the most important global figures in civil rights. And now, in a very surprising turn, he's decided to pick up his pen and can be weaponized. Fam, please welcome Mr. Ben Crump.
with the sound there. That's we'll get it back for you momentarily. I thought there was some issues. Thanks, RNG, for hipping me to that. If we get back to it. Now let's see if we can't get it now. You guys, let me know if you can hear it.
When others would not hear their story. Since then, he's become one of the most important global figures in civil rights. And now, in a very surprising turn, he's decided to pick up his pen and write his debut novel, Worse Than Alive. It's a fictionalized legal thriller about truth, power, and how quickly a narrative can be weaponized. Tam Fam, please welcome Mr. Ben Crump. Congratulations on that. Come on over here, closer. Okay.
It's so good to see you in person.
Okay, so I'm going to base it off of the reaction from the audience, from you walking out with that fist pumped in the air. You walked out like a civil rights attorney icon, not an author of a new novel. So, which is fascinating. Sadly, you are very busy, given what you do, but we are happy and proud that you do it.
Yes, ma'am.
How in the world did you find time to write your first novel, 5 years in the making? And I know those 5 years have been incredibly busy for you.
Yes, ma'am. First,
Yes, ma'am.
you know,
I mean, I'm dressed like a judge, but I am not the judge today. Ben.
Tamara, you know, that's the country lawyer. But I'm so honored to be with you here to talk about the novel. And when I think about, you know, writing this book, what trial lawyers do on a regular basis is we tell engaging stories to juries, and in my case, juries all across America.
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes I find myself taking notes when I see things or observe different cases to tell the next story. And so, you know, Tamara, because we've covered so many cases over the years, I'm always on planes going all across the country. When I'm sitting on those planes, I find myself writing notes and so forth, or reading legal thrillers.
Yeah.
And so that was the impetus for me to write Worse Than Alive, knowing that the old Perry Mason books. I watched this TV show with my grandmother, and that kind of inspired me when I was young. And then as we got older, you know, the John Grisham books and the Lincoln Lawyer books. So all those things led me to saying, we are going to tell a different kind of story, a civil rights legal thriller.
I'm going to tell you. So I want to tell.
And so there is Attorney Ben Crump and the new book, and it's really interesting. He talks a lot about all of the cases, of course, but more importantly, what goes on in those courtrooms in a civil rights situation, and how he came to be who he is. It's going to be a really, really fantastic read. And you want to dig into the nuances of what's been going on in this crazy country, and especially of late. And as Tamron says, you're glad to have a Ben Crump, who is an avid supporter of Black-owned news. And as you might have heard him say, it was good to meet Tamron Hall in person. But they seem like they they've known each other for forever. But that's the Ben Crump effect. So good for Ben Crump. Looking forward to that drop-in and having Attorney Crump on the show. So we are going to be having guests later this week, and going forward, it's not any guests. We're going to bring some meaningful folks on. We got some backing and some support, so we're going to be using that to have the most insightful folks to join us. So stay tuned. A lot going on even this morning. Might be back with you this afternoon on some big, perhaps even exclusive news. So stay tuned to the original. Let it be known for more. We'll be back probably later today with some interesting news. But we're certainly back Monday through Friday. We went a little early today again because certain things breaking this morning got to get to. So you'll see us going forward, 8 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And then the weekends, we'll drop in some fun stuff only. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, love. That is a wrap, y'all. That is a wrap.